So welcome to a brand new Webisode. It's Sunday. I'm working on Monday's show, getting ready for the race today. And it's been a while since I recorded a Webisode, so I figured I would. The Arizona Daily Star today ran their political notebook with Rhonda Bodfeld, sort of laying out the controversy that erupted last week with the Pima GOP chair sending out the email, militarization of local police, use of SWAT teams in regards to Jose Guarania, and blah, 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 blah. Don't want to get into all that right now. I do want to get into something interesting that's come out of this whole issue, and that is the role of libertarians in the Pima County GOP. There's an interesting thing going on here. I guess the only thing that I could possibly sort of relate it to would be like a Green Party member joining the Pima County Democrats in order to vote in the election. I think essentially that's what you have here. You have people who are libertarians who are a part of the Pima County GOP for whatever reason. Now, obviously, everybody's entitled to have their own beliefs, and if you want to not be a member of the Libertarian Party but want to be a part of the Pima County GOP because you feel like you can do more good there, that's fine and dandy. I think the question arises, though, in if you essentially are a libertarian but you're a member of the Pima County GOP, and you're fighting for an issue that's important to you that might be different than that of the Republican Party, you're going to run into a problem because you're actually a libertarian, you're not a Republican, and that may not be an issue that the Republicans on a whole want to deal with. And I think we've seen this happen with this split along the lines of dealing with this issue. Was Brian Miller appropriate? Wasn't he? A lot of it's coming down to on Republican libertarian lines. Well, for me personally, I side with the Republicans in this matter. If you're a libertarian and you're a part of the Pima County GOP, you have to understand that the Republicans don't really see this as an issue, or maybe see the issue differently than you do. And again, all of this stemming back to the fact that the issue in and of itself may have nothing to do with what happened on May 5th. I find the whole thing really, really unfortunate. However, in the issue of bringing up dialogue, conversation, debate, the one good that I have seen out of this is the exposure of the libertarian element inside of the Republican Party and the effect this is going to have on this coming election, and whether or not this battle is going to continue. Now, the onus, in my opinion, lies on the libertarians. If there needs to be concessions made, if you're a libertarian and you're a part of the Pima County GOP, you got to understand that, look, there's different beliefs going on here. There's a lot of aspects of the Libertarian Party that I really, really respect. Obviously, because they're really in line with a lot of what the Republicans have to say. But there are some big issues that I have when it comes to the Libertarian Party, which is why I'm not a Libertarian, I'm a Republican. So I think perhaps I can say this much, because I mentioned all along that I don't think this has been good. I don't think it has been good. I think it's caused a lot of division in the GOP, and I think it's going to take a while for the GOP to recover. The only good I do see out of it, and I will change my tune on this one, I do think there has been some good that came out of it, but that good is just because we're not talking about the issue of SWAT teams and all that rot. I think it's good because we are perhaps having a discussion about the influence of libertarians inside the GOP and how much say they should have. You know, that does bring up the question, though, and I'm sure somebody's already thinking this. That does bring up the question, though, of, well, if I'm registered as a Pima County Republican, then I'm a Republican. Okay, that's up for you to decide. But ultimately, I think a lot of people realize that they might be registered with the Pima County GOP, but they really, really are libertarians. And quite honestly, I think that's a problem that we have with Brian Miller as the Pima County GOP chair. I think he's a libertarian. I respect that, but if you are more in line with the Libertarian Party than you are the GOP, then you shouldn't be the GOP chairman. And I think the same goes for executive committee members as well. If you're more in line with the Libertarian Party, but you're simply part of the GOP because you're trying to get something done or you don't have enough people in the Libertarian Party, well, I think you need to understand that your views may not jive with what the majority of people in the GOP have to say. It'll be interesting, obviously, to see how this whole thing shakes out. I don't know. I'm right now. I'm on the fence as to whether or not this will end up being a positive in the end or not, because I do believe that the issue of libertarians inside of the GOP is a much more important issue than the issue of oh gosh, SWAT teams being used to search warrants and everything else. That's irrelevant. Libertarians in the GOP, that's a bigger issue, especially when it comes to getting people elected, which is ultimately what we're supposed to be trying to do. Bickering over whether or not we should be using SWAT is not going to get Jennifer Ross and Tyler Vogt, Sean McCluskey, and alike elected. So that's just my 2 cents, but what do I know? I'm just a talk show host. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Bye.